Hello and welcome to Dexcom Stadium. A very different looking Dexcom Stadium, but one which is beginning to emerge into the ground that we are all so looking forward to here in Galway. The home of Connacht Rugby is going to be under a bit of construction for the next couple of seasons, but already, as you'll see from the pictures, it's taking shape in what will be a spectacular new look. The season is upon us, a pre-season programme of 3 games, 2 of which are away, and this one game at home is everything Connacht need to get themselves ready for the new campaign, and it's what Sale need as well, with a big campaign coming up for them as well after reaching the last 4 of the Premiership in the 23-24 season. I'm Rob Murphy. I will be bringing you the commentary today alongside my colleague William Davis. William, we've been blessed with the weather as well.
Yeah, we certainly have. This might be the one day of no wind and sunshine at the Dexcom this season, but here's hoping. Beautiful afternoon, quite warm. Pitch, apparently when it's synthetic surface, does get quite hot. I was talking to the women who were playing up in Leinster there a few weeks ago, and it was about 24 degrees. They said the heat radiates back off it. So that might be an excuse today if players get a little bit tired. They weren't using it as an excuse. It's wonderful to be back in action. It's wonderful to see the development work that's going on here. They are making what seems to be pretty spectacular progress. There's all sorts of equipment, and if you see it during the week, there's all sorts of people doing stuff, and it is going to be something else when it's finished. I think it's the sheer scale of it is what's the big surprise. The amount of space that's there that you didn't realise until this Clan stand came down.
Yeah, and it is that season ends with a celebration of the Clan stand and everyone saying goodbye to it. It's only been a couple of months. It's gone, and
but not forgotten.
Look what's replacing it. It's going to be a huge structure, and it's going to really redefine this venue, which people love to bits if you're a Connacht Rugby supporter for what it is. But I think the time is right, and the time is now to change it. We're standing in a stand here, which is the Greyhound and Rugby stand, and when it was built in 2004, it was groundbreaking as well. It elevated this ground and created a much new vibe and atmosphere. There have been different stages, but this is a whole next level, really, isn't it?
Well, this is my 51st season coming up here. So I've seen all the changes in this ground, and some of them have been fairly major. This is on a completely different scale of what is envisaged and what it's going to mean for Connacht Rugby and rugby in the west of Ireland. As
always, when myself and William are working together, William Davis is going to read the teams today.
All right, we're going to start with the Connacht team. They line out to start with. There are going to be a lot of changes, folks. We'll do our best to keep you up to date with them. 15, Piers O'Connor making his Connacht debut. 14, Shane Bolton. 13, Byron Ralston. 12, Cathal Ford. 11, Hugh Gavin. 10, Jack Carty, the birthday boy today. Happy birthday, Jack. 9, Matthew Devine. 1, Peter Dooley. 2, Dylan Tierney-Martin. 3, Sam Elo. 4, the captain, Joe Joyce. 5, Dara Murray. 6, Josh Murphy. 7, Conor Oliver. 8, Sean Jansen. Now, there is also all these substitutes, so I'm going. There are some of the numbers, so I'll read through them for you quickly. Dennis Buckley, Adam McBurney, Jack Ainger, Niall Murray, Oisin Dowling, David O'Connor. He'd be making his Connacht debut. Oisin McCormack, Paul Boyle, Ben Murphy. He's substitute scrum half, along with Colin Riley. Cathal Ford, Byron Ralston, John Devine, David Hawkshaw, Matthew Devine, Fiachna Barrett and Temi Lassisi. And if you've been paying close attention, you'll have realised there's 3 sets of brothers in there. So have a little quiz now and work out who they are. So 3 sets of brothers selected by Connacht today. Sale starting 15 is 15 Will Addison, 14 Tom O'Flaherty, 13 Waisa Nainclavu, 12 Rob Dupreez, 11 Aaron Reid, 10 George Ford, 9 Rafi Quirk, 1 Simon McIntyre, 2 Tommy Taylor, 3 James Harper, 4 LaRue Roots, 5 Ernst Van Rijn, 6 Sam Dugdale, 7 Ben Curry the captain, and 8 Jean-Luc Dupree. and we will deal with their substitutes as and when they happen. Just keep an eye out for 16, Luke Cohen-Dickey, the England #1 hooker, but we'll cover them as and when they come. And Sale coming onto the field, Rob.
So there are going to be a lot of changes, and we will do our best, as we said, because there'll be players wearing the same number in the second half or so on. But at the same time, both teams have tried to keep it as tight as possible, allowing first 40 minutes in most cases. There'll be a couple of changes before half-time, we expect. We've got a little bit of insight into that from the Connacht perspective anyways. And as you can see, the Sale Sharks team are out in their brand new unveiled kit in the last 24 hours. Bright orange. Yes.
Very handy for a dark afternoon in Sale in December, but shining well here.
As always, the Dropkick Murphys ring around Galway and Dexcom Stadium as the men in green from Connacht take to the field, led by captain Joe Joyce.
It's the long walk from the temporary changing rooms. Takes a fair while. It's not like just running out through the Clan Tunnel. They've got to come right around. A referee is Robbie Jenkinson. AR1 is Padraig Reedy, and AR2 Sam Holt. So you're fully up to date with all the people that are on the field as we await the start here.
Excellent stuff. Connacht are there. The crowd are all down in front of us in the main clan, or the main, I'm going to call it the clan stand. I can't change the name of it. The main stand here at the crowd. The clan terrace is gone. There'll be a whole different atmosphere that's coming up from beneath us here as the clan terrace folk come over here. I don't know whether they were louder than the ones down here. We'll find out this season.
We have good taste for them, because we're always looking at what was the clan. Quite a decent crowd in.
Sale start their campaign on Sunday the 22nd of September, 3 weeks away against Harlequins. Connacht start their campaign on Saturday,
21st.
21st, thank you. That comes before 22nd. And Munster in Thomond Park. We have no rugby ball, so that allows us to underline that game in Thomond Park kicks off at 5:30. Not an easy start for either side, but in particular for Connacht having to go down to Thomond Park on opening day, hence the busy preparation with him in the next couple of weeks. Glasgow and Bristol as well.
Absolutely, that's a place where you need to be 100% ready.
Yeah.
It's
Can't
not
ease into the season down
no,
Thomond Park.
No, doesn't work like that.
One of the world's best out halves, George Ford, on show here in Galway today, and he gets us underway. One of the many supremely talented players in this Sale Shark side. That the astute among you from the Connacht perspective will know well that they made the semi-finals of the Premiership last year, and by God they got very close to upsetting Bath in that semi-final. Not unlike Connacht the season before when they were away to the Stormers and came close to a massive upset, but Connacht have received possession. They are defending what we call the Bohermore end and attacking the College Road end in the first half. And they're looking for a touch finder. And even the little things in the early stages of the season for the likes of Matt Devine, who made such a big impact last year, and Jack Hardy, finding your range and the touchline, because you don't have that kind of clan terrace to kind of judge where you are.
No, you don't. And I think if there was a wind, you'd have to get used to a completely different wind on that wing. Nice kick from Devine. Of course, he missed the end of the season through injury, and I'm sure he's delighted to be back in the first game, or the first start of the season.
First bit of attack play for Sale, and it does allow them to get things moving with O'Flaherty coming in off the wing and already showing his dynamism. He is a cracking winger. Good carry too from Roots. And they've made 35 metres through 2 phases. Alright, the second phase is a bit slower, but it does get them going on the front foot with Quirk. Back a couple of metres now on the 10 metre line. Just that early stages when teams are figuring each other out. Ford, nice little pass on to the man making his debut with Sale, Naya Calavu. Huge signing for them, really important placement I suppose for Tulagi as well, but he's going to be so important this year in the Sharks ranks in that 13 jersey today. Fran Rin, good carry, Quirk, so not much on, so ball goes to Sky. Huge amount of height in that kick, but brilliantly dealt with out there on the wing by Connacht, and just first little bit of test for Hugh Gavin. He was playing most of his rugby with the Irish under-20s and Connacht in the centre, but trying him out in the left wing there.
Connacht doing well, a couple of double tackles slowed Sale down, and they just got themselves into a position where they had to kick it away.
Straight away we have a no number there, and that's Ralston, I'm pretty sure, who's coming into that. I'll just check, or maybe it might have been our fullback. No, I see Ralston there, so that's appears Pierce O'Connor. My first introduction to Connacht's new signing, and he's
Well,
not
that-
wearing a number
well,
just
that's
to test
good.
me out.
Yeah, well, there well done, well done. And you now know that he's the man with no number until he comes out in the second half with the number on or something.
Someone else has a 15 jersey, William. We need to be all over that. There is a penalty. The penalty is to Connacht at the breakdown. And it just steadies the ship, gets a nice round of applause. Beautiful sunshine here in Galway, as it always is if you're watching from Sale. The whole summer is like this, don't you worry, not a bit of rain. If you're not watching from Sale, you know what I'm talking about.
Sam Elo also has no number.
Yes, indeed. Sam Elo's a player that we really are seeing emerge now. It's a tough position when you get to your mid-20s, which he isn't there yet. That's when you really see them flourish. But we're excited. Leinster were disappointed to have to lose him. Connacht have really made a home for him.
They have done. Look, I think prop forwards often develop a lot later.
Of course.
And because it's such a technical position, and he's grown into the role. He probably didn't get quite as many starts last year as he would have wanted. It's a competitive spot 3. He has got Finlay Beelum in front of him, and he's got Jack Ainger as well.
Yeah.
But he certainly looks bigger and stronger at the end of last season, and this again is an opportunity. As you said, whatever you do in this game, the key is to do it well. As in whatever amount of time you get, don't make a mistake. Do the stuff that you're expected to do, whether you're a prop who's scrumming or a out half who's kicking. Get it right, because the coaches watch everything, and you want to have just that feeling that you're settled. They've been training since early July. Connacht, Sale probably on about the same schedule, so they want to get out and have a run.
Third season for Sammy, though. We're talking about their 24, coming on 24 now. Connacht line out on halfway, really well executed, and they're up and moving and trying to get on the front foot in these early stages, with Darren Murray winning that line out and the front foot ball getting them a platform in the middle of the pitch. Carty. Gavin used as a battering ram. Well, that's the handy thing of having him on that wing, because he could do that for you. O'Connor, big signing for Connacht. Great experience with Bristol, and he's well travelled. Huge addition. Santiago Cordero missed last year. He was the big sign-in, but came back at the end of the season. He's playing for Argentina this evening. 11 o'clock start as Connacht knocked the ball on. Another player that Connacht are really excited about to get back once he's done with the Rugby Championship.
Absolutely, he's on the wing tonight for Argentina in a ground. If you have access to it, it's on TNT. Well worth a look. La Plata. It's a very rough, tough soccer ground normally, and it's a passionate atmosphere.
This could be brilliant.
It should be very, very good. If I was Australia, I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy this one.
Joe Schmidt will be bringing his Chargers into that one. That's something to watch later. Thanks for joining us here on Connacht Rugby's stream for this game. And Connacht have got a platform, probably the first platform for either side in this game, and Oliver gets out, and there Ford has dropped that one. I think he was thinking about the next move.
Slightly in front of him, but Conor Oliver would justifiably feel that was a decent pass. But there you go. It's early season. It's that's what happens. It's everybody's slightly out of position, but they were quick off the back of that move.
As best as you can tell, William, do you think these players, because a lot of these players know you've got 40 minutes, you've got 20 minutes in second half, do you think they're going to play it to what the minutes that they have and burst themselves, or do you think they're going to try and play it as if they were going to be on the pitch for 60, 70 and just try and be normal?
I think that's what they would have been told to do, rather than trying to overplay in your period, because then you can cause chaos for your team.
Yes.
You get out of position, you get out of sync. They want to see how these combinations do, and they also want to get a feel for just the way they're playing. So no, I think you play to the team pattern, and when you're called ashore, you're called ashore.
On the blind side of the Connacht scrum there, wearing 6, is Josh Murphy. Brilliant to see him back. Great story. Free kick for Sale. I think they might reset this scrum. Let's see. No, first thing is to throw the ball back to George Ford, so he's going to launch a carry on.
Can't have a scrum off a free kick anymore, I think. New law.
I got caught straight away.
No, you can't reset. You have to kick it.
Yes, which is a great change. You keep me on track there on those ones, William. I'm going back to.
Well, to be fair, I told everybody during one of the Connacht women's matches, that the new law about line-outs, crooked throws was in. It isn't.
Well,
So there you go.
We're all a bit rusty, so we won't be knocking.
It's being examined. It's been used in certain games, but it's not in. But the no scrums from free kicks, which will annoy South Africa, who spend an awful lot of time getting free kicks and having another scrum.
Hunasanya is on for sale, and I think he started. He's wearing 17, William, so I think he started instead of McIntyre at the loose head position. Unless we've missed a knock in the early stages. If we have, apologies, folks.
I like the fact that Sale's numbers are on a white background.
Ah, yes. Very old school.
Yes. We could
Box kick from Devine.
Do that everywhere.
Actually, Devine, one of the brothers, the 3 sets of brothers starting for Connacht that William was talking about earlier. Quirk at the base. Taylor with the carry. Good ball presentation on halfway. It's scrappy early on, as you'd imagine. Sale just want to go through a few phases and get the movement going. Roots with the carry. Turnover for Connacht. Really good work at the breakdown.
Great work inside, but then the pass. Anyway.
It's that mixture, isn't it? Do you know who turned that over with him? Do you want to take a guess?
Josh Murphy?
No. Connor Oliver. Should have been your first guess.
Should have been my first guess.
Because he is a demon at it. Not that Josh Murphy isn't. What a story Josh Murphy is. For those who don't know, I mean, brilliant rugby player with Leinster. Huge addition to Connacht in his 2 seasons ago. Took a year out, as had been arranged, so he could continue and finish his studies to be a doctor. And he's back playing rugby. Just love that balance.
Yeah, he was basically, he had to take that year, or he would have had to have gone back and repeat a load of exams, and he said he certainly wasn't doing that. He'd done enough in exams. He played a bit of AIL last year with Clontarf. He trained with Clontarf, I think, through the season, and played some rugby, but of course that's at a different level, even though Division 1 AIL is pretty good. He's come back and he's raring to go. Hope we get to talk to him very soon.
Connacht are secured line-out ball, as they did a few minutes ago. Their captain is Joe Joyce, former Bristol. That's another knock-on in the close-in contact.
We mentioned him already. They're trying to use Elo slightly differently from what we saw last year. He was a first-run carrier a lot. He's now in the pass line, so they're trying to free him up slightly differently from what we saw maybe at other times, not last season. It was this year, but he's out there looking for work. And this is the sort of stuff you see early season, you know, the hands aren't quite in the right position, and we might get a lot of scrums, particularly in this phase of the game early on.
Scrum to Sale, no score, early stages, pre-season rugby. The way Connacht would have wanted it, because in the last few years it's not always easy to get a good pre-season structure. Very hard to get the games. Connacht have a lovely schedule here, Glasgow away and Bristol as well. Real good build-up. Good scrum from Sale. We're going to get a reset from Jenkinson, our referee. But it's
Pete said last year, pretty early on in the season, that they were a game short at the start. He wanted 3, and they've got 3 this year. Now last year was very, very difficult because of the World Cup.
Of course.
It was almost impossible to get teams because teams were at all sorts of different stages of preparation. Connacht's pre-season last year went on forever because they didn't start playing until way into nearly the end of the World Cup. Whereas I think the Premiership might have stopped, or was it the top 14 stopped and started, which is very French. But yeah, you need these games. You need to get people out on the pitch. You can train, you can do gym work, but they'll want to run, and they're getting it here.
Penalty for Connacht, not just the free kicks. So the scrum popped up the first time, and honestly I thought just because Sale were going forward we might see a penalty to Sale, but we're nowhere near as close to it as our officials, so they laid down the law. We do have a stadium clock on the go in the corner, and a timekeeper in the next room. Give us all our information on our officials today. Thanks to John for that. It's kicked to the 22, and Connacht have a platform. Second time they've had a platform in the 22 in this game. They'll want a little bit more accuracy beyond the line-out. 2 line-outs so far have gone reasonably well. Not just reasonably well, they've gone perfectly. And there's Darren Murray. Another one of the sets of brothers. Niall on the bench. Here's the Connacht maul. Can they get the first blow in this game?
Still moving forward very slowly, but it's okay.
I think Devine wants to take it out. I think Sale have got through and really disrupted that, and it's a bit of a mess, and it's gone to ground. And if the ball isn't playable, it's a scrum to Sale. And that's exactly what we have.
Yeah, that was good work by Sale. Devine was thumping somebody there to suggest let it go, but I think the ball at that stage was just stuck in the middle.
The subs are over on that construction side, and there'll be no one else. And it'll remind me of back in COVID times when you and I did a few games behind closed doors here, where because there was no one else in the ground, the opposition subs ended up being louder than the home teams, and the atmosphere was. So there's no Clan Terrace giving a little bit of support to the officials.
No, it's help.
Interesting. This
help,
season.
yes.
Support, help. Yeah,
help. Help. There were good judges in the Clan Terrace of what was going on.
Yeah, balanced.
But it's just going to be so different. But when you see what's going on behind it, it's going to be really worth it.
Yeah, massive job. Just 4 months. We've gone from we were building up the construction site behind it in the previous 3 or 4 months as well. So it's been a well phased out construction, roughly, and no definitive deadlines as you can understand in a huge project like this. But roughly, they're hoping for midway through the 2025-26 season to have that stand open. As early as March next year, they hope to have the high performance unit in, and I think from Connacht Rugby's perspective, that's going to be critical to the balance and the structure and the work environment for these players.
Brilliant work environment, everything under one roof, huge indoor pitch, and everything else they need in one place, which is kind of going to be kind of unique in Ireland. Maybe Munster have the same. Not sure about Ulster. I know Leinster train off site, but it's all going to be here, and it's going to be state of the art. Obviously, they'll be able to have it as modern as you can possibly do.
There's 13 minutes gone, folks, and if you've missed it, it's Connacht 0, Sale 0. Have I missed any scores? I don't think I have.
No, not. It's at the moment it's slightly confused. I think there's.
It's like they're just being introduced to the art of scrummaging for the first time.
Yeah, Byron Rolston's got his hands on his hips at 13. He's probably thinking, just get it done, lads. Ref's gone around the other side now to see what's what.
I don't think anyone would be too annoyed with the referee if he just called it either way on this one, but he has to do his job to a T as well. He's been watched in his pre-season efforts like everyone else. A brace of tackling there from Oliver. Ball's come loose on the Connacht side. That's a big turnover. Poor from Sale, good from Connacht. Ralston has that ball now. Here comes Piers O'Connor. Comes into the line, lays it out to Shane Bolton, who's so dynamic. This one's keep him fit this season.
Yeah, another player who missed a bit of time at the end of the season. Josh
Murphy forced that was knocked on. Might have even been picked up in an offside position, but that would be very harsh. I don't know if there's a shake of the head there from Josh or from Dara Murray or both of them, but they're not happy with themselves, and that's a shame because Connacht had got something going, and then
if they moved it quickly, they probably had potential just to stretch Sale going towards the building side or the Clan side or the new development side, we'll call it. Another scrum. The props will be quite happy with this. This is great. I mean, this is just part of training for them. And the second rows, they're going to have a little meeting, I think. The front five are having a chat. In fact, all the props are now coming together. All the forwards are coming for Connacht to have a bit of a discussion and a bit of water. It's a warm day here. Not often you can say that.
If you're coming to Dexcom Stadium this season, and you have tickets for games, you're going to either be behind both goals, where you can see a lot of people on the College Road end now, enjoying the sun. There's a few down on the Bowermore end, and then the main stand is going to be packed out, so that's a good time to kind of sort yourself out for the games that are coming up. They're all available on connachtrugby.ie and get your tickets in. It's not every game is going to be as accessible because attendance is reduced. That's the only reason. So book them out, sell it out, and the crowd team are going to need that backing because it's going to lack for atmosphere unless there's a lot of noise coming from this side. And there will be. There
will be, but it's what you used to have was the sound reverberating between the two stands, but
you and I remember the days when this was where the crowds were and there was just a small few steps on the far side.
That's it.
It's taking me back to that, and that's less than 20 years ago. That's probably 15 years ago. Sale, steady scrum from both sides. So
gentleman's agreement, maybe just to get it done.
That's one for the supporters, I think. There, that's not good from Sale though. They've dropped it. Referee's giving another knock on there.
And we're having another scrum.
Now
No, the scrum, Joe Joyce patting Sam Elo on the back.
It's like this game needed a dress rehearsal. They needed to meet on Wednesday, get through all this, figure a few bits out, and then go for the game itself on Friday.
Yeah, there's some of the backs now on both sides are thinking, right, can we just have the ball and I'll do something?
Nia Callavu there, he just wasn't on the same page as Will Addison. Will Addison back with Sale, William, where he started. Well liked within the club. Obviously, in the meantime, went on to play for Ireland and Ulster. So from our perspective here in Connacht, we've seen him at this venue when it was used to be called the Sports Ground on a few occasions. But he's going to be a big addition to them there.
Yeah, he is. I mean, look, they had a great season last year.
Brilliant.
Very competitive league, the Premiership. 10 teams. Look, there was a couple of teams floating a bit. Newcastle obviously were in bother, but
no dominant force last year, which made it so.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting results, and it's momentum. It's the same number of teams as it's 18 games, 9 home, 9 away. They have the Premiership Cup as well, of course, but you do need a fast start. They've changed a couple of things in the team. They've got some very good players. I think they'll be there or thereabouts again. We haven't been over to Sale since the days of Steve Diamond, who loved coming to Galway. Thought it was the greatest place in the world to come for, as he said himself, for a bit of rugby and a pint of Guinness. He adored coming here. Interesting character, always worth a chat with. He's at Newcastle now. I think he's director of rugby up there. He was at Sale for a long time. We kept meeting Sale in Europe. I think we played them maybe 2 seasons out of 3.
Do you remember that quarter-final of 2004? Robinson scored a hat-trick against us in an absolute thriller of a game here, and then
yes,
the second leg is best forgotten, actually.
Yes.
There was a lot of points conceded.
That
game was
I was trying to forget that one. Yeah. No, I'm talking about playing them recently.
More recently.
When it was
penalty
a bit
to
tougher. All right, the referee's had enough. He's decided to give a penalty to somebody, which is just as well, because we were nearly running out of things to say.
Just apologies to our Sale followers. It is Simon McIntyre who started, but he's wearing 17. So apologies on my behalf there.
Fair enough.
So I don't know what number, to me, Una Sanya will wear when he comes on, but sure, listen, we'll do our best.
He just swapped jerseys.
Platform for Connacht. This is the third time they've had a line out in the 22. No score if you've just joined us. You haven't missed a thing.
I would be hoping that this goes to hand and somebody they try something, because I don't think we need it to be just driven. But
well, there you go. Joyce is the target. The maul is set. Almost lost his footing, but he got the ground. Connacht are trying to roll off the side with Dylan Tierney-Martin at the back of this. This is momentum. This is just needs to spin it off, perhaps. I say that like it's the easiest thing in the world, because Sale have dug in really deeply. Connacht do spin off, and they've got to try. And unless that ball was transferred, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Dylan Tierney-Martin that's getting the pats on the back. It is 5-0.
Well, they got it right this time, and shows what I know, because I was thinking maybe give it to the backs, and the backs probably would have loved to have had it, but fair play to DTM, as we call them. They set that much better and got into a much better position. The last attempt sort of splintered.
Joyce is such a huge man to have as your kind of pincer point or whatever right in the centre of that, and like when he comes down with it, it just all flows off that.
Yeah, it's something that worked last season sometimes, and other times it didn't, and I suspect they've worked very hard on it in pre-season to get it right, because it's look, on a dank wet day anywhere, if you can do that, it's a very good tool to have in your armoury. And Dylan's pretty good at picking it up at the end, at the back. So is Dave Heffernan, of course, not here today.
Jack Carty eyes up the post and strikes that beautifully here. Superb synthetic surface. A day like this is not when it's most useful, of course. But it's a beautiful strike, and it's a perfect start for Connacht, who are up and running, 7 points to 0. Have a restart now to take, with Darren Murray rising high into the sky and taking it. That's a good start for Connacht. We are 20 minutes into this contest. Matthew Devine launches a kick into the sky. looks like it's knocked on by Sale, but it's Connacht ball anyways. It's hairy stuff as it goes all across the back line from Ralston to Pierce O'Connor. They're linking up well already, and here's Shane Bolton. Oh, too high from Naya Calavu. Should have been a penalty, I would imagine, but the referee's just let it go play on. I mean, he came out of it worse.
It's not.
That's not the way you're going to tackle it during the season, or you could risk even more than just a penalty.
You could, and you don't want to run into Shane Bolton either.
Ralston, I don't know where he thought he was when he passed that, but anyways, Sale were offside, and there's a referee's blowing the whistle. Is it to have a chat? We'll have a see. He seems to be bringing forward here now, so they'll stop and play.
It's quite a long walk he's moving them up, actually. Did somebody say something? I think maybe somebody did. I don't know. Shane Bolton last season was a kind of a standout player until he got injured a couple of times. Immense speed.
Yes.
And a big unit, and he really settled in. He'd been here a couple of seasons, maybe injury had got to him. And he admitted when we talked to him, he was a little bit homesick, but he said he'd grown to love being here. He comes from South Africa.
Irish qualified.
Ancestor,
really, yeah.
And he was flying when he got injured, which is always, look, no player wants to get injured, but getting injured when you're playing really well. But he's back there, and you saw what happened. If you try to tackle him like that, you will come off worse.
Lovely line out. Josh Murphy is such a brilliant target to have in that back row as well. How it comes to the back line. Gavin escaped. Nice concept there, but didn't work out in terms of a move. And now Gavin's trying to tidy up a bit of a mess, and Connacht have lost 20 metres. So they won't be happy with the way they're executing so far, despite the fact that they lead this game 7-0. Ball's loose outside, and it's a Sale hand. Discipline lets them down, and they will not be happy with the way they started.
No, that's no.
Ben Curry there being. Oh, a referee has blown the whistle, and it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Yeah, I was wondering. Eagle-eyed spotted that. So this is Sale's up. This is Sale's first chance to get inside the 22. If George Ford gets it into the 22, which I expect he will. In fact, he does more than get it into the 22. He gets it within about 5 metres of the line. That's a lovely kick. Beautiful kick. World-class player. I mean, he came on and won a game for Leicester. I think he certainly won a game for Leicester when Connacht played over in Leicester.
What a chance for Sale. First opportunity for them in this game. Taylor to throw in, and watch for him to come in around the back of this if it works out. Not going to be able to do that now, though. I don't know if that was a lifting situation in terms of timing as well, but something went wrong in those early in the plan, and Connacht now are playing through an advantage. Played right through that advantage as Pierce O'Connor kicks it downfield. Addison has it now. Not the platform Sale wanted, but it's broken rugby play, and it could be dangerous opportunity. Reid is always dynamic. So is O'Flaherty. Ball comes out to him, and he does a chip over the top. He is deadly in these situations. Connacht need to be alive to it. The man we were just talking about, Shane Bolton, left or right winger, coming across and covering superbly well.
Great covering work. Not a good chase line by Connacht. They were a bit slow to follow up on that kick. They mightn't have expected O'Connor to kick it maybe that far, but they were a little bit lacking chasing, so they got into bother but sorted it out. Apologies folks. Sale needed more speed on that. They had the opportunity to run, but they didn't maybe move it quite as quick as they could have done.
I was checking Jack Carty's age there, and suddenly remembered you told me it's his birthday today. So 32 years of age, Jack Carty. Made his debut in 2012 for Connacht.
Young man. Still a young man,
Still
32.
A young man from our perspective, and probably many of our listeners. These goal line dropouts are always good attacking opportunities, but I don't feel like Sale have completely established that yet. That said, they still have possession, and as I say that, they've made a mess of that. And brilliant from Josh Murphy. Just hounding that ball. And then it just allows Matty Devine to get the ball and spot an opportunity from inside his own half. He's kicked it into the 22. Would have been a 50-22. Isn't, but O'Flaherty now tries to clear it. It's blocked down, so it will be Sale's line out, which in fairness to O'Flaherty is not a bad end game from a real mess of a situation, but it starts with hunting Josh Murphy.
Absolutely, Murphy there at his best, and then Devine, clever kick, looking for it, and well, another roll of the ball, and it was 50-22 time. As it is, Sale have got a defensive line out.
This surface sometimes, I mean, if that's a grass pitch, that ball's just rolling in, but it does kind of grip the ball on occasions and kicks like that, which can be very useful if you use it right.
I think early in the the season as well, when they don't resurface a brand new surface, but I think they put down a little more of the rubber balls, the hundreds of millions of them that are down there, and I think that causes the ball sometimes just to stick, but it'll settle down over the period, and later on it can be quite slick.
24 and a half minutes gone. We have a 7-point game. We have a stoppage for a bit of treatment, and it's Peter Dooley. He's put in a good effort so far, and he was scheduled roughly. We got a rough indication from Connacht, which we appreciate, of what we were expecting to see, how long players were going to play, but as they said themselves, that is all dependent on how things play out. He was meant to play maybe a half today, but whatever little knock he's picked up, he's gone, and Dennis Buckley is on earlier than expected.
Well, that's a wise call in a game like this. I mean, he's walked off there, and I don't think it's anything too serious, but you don't risk players in games like this. Sale
are going to have to execute their exit strategy, and that's a pretty clever one. Taylor to Curry at the front of the line out. That'll do nicely because they're up to the edge of 22. And they're crashing the ball up again. Good work from Sammy, though, over the bridge over that, but couldn't get any turnover. So now Quirk has the opportunity to roll it back. They didn't do anything about the elongated rucks during the law.
No, that's something I would.
They don't listen to us, William, I feel.
No, I would get rid of that as a point of principle.
Yeah. It's certainly one's okay when you start putting 2 and 3
and 4. Interesting. That was a clever defensive line out.
Really good exit.
But you don't see. Do you know you don't see that is in the URC? You see it all the time in the Premiership.
Yeah. But look at that for an exit. Like, you're 5 metres from your own line, and 2 very straightforward plays with a good couple of carries. You got a brilliant kick, and you put the team down on the 10 metres.
Yeah, it's interesting. But
Murphy down to Devine. Here's Jack Hardy's right boot. He sits in the air a little bit and then bounces. That's a wonderful kick from Cardi, because it asks an awful lot of O'Flaherty, who gets his kick away before being hounded down. And here's our look at Pierce O'Connor now. Big man as well. Eager to see if there's some space there. In the end, he just meets the line around 8 metres inside that half. That's a lovely scooped pass out to the wing, and it allows Shane Bolton to do his thing. Shake free from the tackle from Addison. Connacht with a 7-point lead, maybe just growing in confidence. Maybe on paper, with a few Connacht players missing, we thought, looking at the Sale team, this could be a really difficult game. And then it'll change over the course of it. You don't know what it's going to look like in the second half. But Connacht are certainly competing very well here. Ball's loose. Oh, good intuitive play there from Devine. Ralston didn't need to force that one.
No, needed to take contact on that.
Yes.
And then there's another.
Devine had rescued the situation. Now Connacht have conceded the penalty, so from the good to the not so good, as Sale will get a chance to kick.
They're just trying a few things, Connacht. They've done a couple of missed passes, and they've tried to get their bigger units carrying second, third time. Elo, Joyce. It's just maybe a little bit sharper at times than we saw last season, although there has been some work around that's a bit sloppy.
Sean Jansen is getting a bit of treatment, and that's a concern. He just needs a break from injuries, really. And I'm afraid I see Paul Boyle lining up. So again, in the guise of not taking any chances, Shane Bolton lost his boot and has got it back. I can inform you as well. All the important stuff. That's what we bring you on this commentary. Just has to put it on him now before this line out happens, as Ford has found a good touch inside the 22. Second time Sale have had a set piece platform in the Connacht red zone, or the red zone from their perspective. Jansen gets an applause. He walks off on his own steam anyways, but it just seems like maybe an upper body injury, perhaps a hand injury, is it? That's a worry, but that's all part of it. This is why you roll test and figure things out and hope for the best. It's not exactly well-timed jump from Van Ryn, but he rescued it well. But that just allows Connacht to hound Sale scrum half Quirk and then drive over the top and pick it up. That's brilliant from Connacht. Good determination. Gavin has a bit of work to do here. Gets the pass away to Ford. Ford forced that out of contact, and it just didn't work for him. Reid is dangerous in these situations, but that's a shame. Connacht did all the hard work, and they're doing more hard work as Joyce comes in on that. What's the whistle for? Scrum to Sale. It's going back for an advantage, because when Ford did try to release that pass, the referee said it was Ford.
It's Ford, yeah.
Sure it was, but I'd be really getting into minute detail there, and it's not really worth it. We got, what, 10 minutes or so, just over 12 minutes to half-time.
They just got themselves into a bit of a muddle, actually, when they got that Connacht, and maybe Ford would have been better off to just take a bit of contact.
Yeah, he was dealt a difficult enough pass behind the gain line, but yeah.
But he tried to
if
get
he
it
had straightened the line a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, but he tried to get it moving, and maybe this early in the season, everybody wasn't quite on the same wavelength.
The blindside flanker for Sale is Doug Dale. He is wearing his number has slipped off, I'm afraid, but he is on that side of the scrum. This is a great platform, third platform if you like for Sale now, this time in the shape of a scrum inside the Connacht 22. Neither of the lineouts have worked very well. It's a bit better. Quirk gets it out forward. Oh, what beautiful hands. Addison came onto that then, and Reid has it. Comes out again, and a good carry from Rin. 7-0 to Connacht, but Sale surely, with all these platforms, they're eventually going to get a score out of this. Roots. Joyce is on the wrong side there. He's rolled away. Quirk. Good carry for Dupree's. But Connacht are over that ball, and they've got the turnover. Lovely stuff. Not the first time that Connacht have been proven to be pretty effective defensively.
I think they'll be very happy with the way they've defended. They've worked very, very hard. And
just to note there, that was Pierce O'Connor, Connacht's new signing at fullback, showing an ability to get stuck into a ruck and get a big turnover. And not bad going from Pierce. Taylor's going to try and throw into this line out. Half time, the stadium clock says 29 minutes and 42 seconds. It's going to start ticking on again now in the second. Well, it stopped for a second because there's a bit more treatment.
Yeah, Aaron Reid down here having a drink of water and shaking his head, but he's ready to go again.
Two changes for Connacht. One is Jack Ainger and the other, I believe, is Ben Murphy.
Yeah, new scrum half coming on. Ben Murphy down from Leinster. Apparently has settled in very well here, and he's now going to get his opportunity. So that nice start, you'd have to say, by Matthew Devine. I think everything he did went pretty well for him.
Might see him a little bit later, we're told, if they need him in the back three, so keep an eye out for that. But Ben Murphy's on there wearing 21. Oh, that's a good carry. Sale on the front foot, but something that they haven't been able to do, which is just make contact and drive on to get the extra yards. Both sides have a lot of handling errors, as you'd expect in a game like this, but Sale have definitely started to lead the way in that, and that's another failed opportunity to just launch something. So they will not be happy with this, no matter how forgiving they are early season stuff. It's back in the hands of Cardi after the change, the carry from Jack Ainger. Yes, it wasn't brilliant, and Pierce O'Connor now has been dealt a difficult task. Murphy says, you know what, I might go back for the knock on there, lads, if you want it. And Connacht say, yeah, we'll actually take that got
Jack was in three man's land there because he had nobody to pass through. So he did well, actually, because he created a little bit of space. But and again, that's what you get early season. It's just people aren't all going at the same speed.
Second season for Pete Wilkins in the head honcho role. And Connacht followed on that superb run to the last four of the URC in 23, with a disappointing enough campaign by their own high standards and missing out on the playoffs into the Challenge Cup. So this is such an important campaign to get a brilliant start, and you have some tough fixtures. Sharks at home will be the first home game a week after that Munster game. That's not an easy one. I don't want to say there's no easy ones, because one or two teams do seem to drift away in this competition, in that competition. So I'm not going to just hit the cliche button there, but Connacht have had a tough start. That's a good kick with the left foot from Cathal Ford. Yeah,
that's something we want to see more of this season, him being the second kick-in option coming from 12. Big left boot, change the angle, well done. Yeah, I think Connacht last season, by their own admission, were disappointed with themselves. They set high standards, and they were blunt. They said they didn't reach them, but they've now just got to concentrate going forward here. They've got some new talent in.
That ball's loose, could go anywhere. Connacht put up the pressure. Oh, Bolton just shoves it off the tackle from Reid, and he's away. Shane Bolton showing all the power and all his running ability after that turnover, and that's got the crowd going. It's got Connacht going. Here's Cardiff Oliver. Here's Ralston. Coming off the line is Gavin. He was lined up and he was taken down. Inside the 22 though, Ainger. Oliver isn't the option there. Nothing really for Ford to do there either, so he's just gone into contact as well. Connacht being slowed down by a scrambling Sale defence that was definitely doing its job after a scary start. Josh Murphy. Here's Ralston back inside to Gavin. Gavin on the inside run. Effective in that sense. Can he present good ball? He can for Murphy. First few forays at the base of the ruck for Connacht's new signing at scrum half, emerging from the Irish under-20s. Slow to roll away, Sale. Advantage to Connacht. Pierce O'Connor again. My God, physical conditioning from Connacht looking pretty good in these early stages as he went into the contact there. Took a kind of a high challenge, but certainly met it as well. It's one of those ones that might be analysed in another setting. Danger. Sailor on the wrong side again. Connacht can really buy the penalty if they want, but they might just try something else. Crossfield kick from Cardi. It's a spiralling one, far too much on it. Very weird bounce on it as well, which is worth noting. We'll go back for the penalty. There's definitely a zip that's missing in some of these attacks. There's little moments of individual sparks.
It's just all slightly out of sync, but Ben Murphy's done well there, a couple of decent passes. But Bolton, again, if you don't get this guy around the legs, you've got a problem. No, he's getting attention here, which is something that always makes you a little bit. He did take a fairly high hit there, not illegal, but it was
the level of contact there was ooze from the crowd.
But I mean, that's what he does. You have to stop him low, because otherwise he just runs past you.
Do you know, there's a thing with players like him where when they make that contact, you forget that they get sore too. They get,
yes.
You know, like it might make you think, oh, he can bash into anyone, but there's this huge impact. And yeah, that's a worry, because we just said it already. Bolton's such an exciting prospect for Connacht. But
he's given the thumbs up inside, so he's ready to go again.
That's good news. Line out for Connacht, really good platform. Overthrowing the line out, loose. Can they tidy it up? At least they can. Ford has it. And that is not a plan that they drew up, let me tell you. Sailor over the ball and they got a turnover, and that all comes from the mess. And there's a same player there that's worth watching. He's called Ben Curry, and if you leave the ball anywhere in his midst, he's going to get it. He's a good lad.
He is, yeah. Potentially.
England should look at him.
Yeah, I think England should, yeah, definitely. He's potentially, you never know.
There's a pretty clear.
Sorry, we're being a bit facetious. We know very well what he can do.
But, pre-season, like, Connacht got a try off that or something. It's like, the main point there is that's a little malfunction that they'll want to get right. It's about tidying up those. So, like, I mean, the clearance and the fact that Sale got the turnover.
It was the first line out that they actually called to the back, and it went wrong.
Okay.
All the others have been mid. So I suppose you can't keep calling the same call, but it just didn't work.
7-0 to Connacht in a typical pre-season game. Overthrow in the line out. And Connacht have possession. Really good carry from Tierney Martin. Here's Ainger.
That's two lineouts in a row from either side. They've gone badly awry, but good work by Martin to be ready for it.
Here's Joe Joyce. It's the ball loose. It is. Murphy gets it out. Sale wants to knock on. They're getting it. Gavin. Oh, he's come outside, inside. That's really good. What an offload with the right, out of the right hand. Cardi on the shoulder. One more pass. Oliver dives for the line. Oh my word. In a game of very few high octane moments so far. That was lovely from Connacht. Their second try. And Gavin showing a lot there on the wing.
Well, absolutely. Look, he's regarded as a centre, but he has played wing for the under-20s. But he went off both feet, left, right, left. And then the sneaky offload. I
don't understand how you can even physically do those offloads, because like he has the arm and his shoulder and it's upright, and that's why you could audibly, I'm sure, across this stream as well, hear the crowd just ooh at that pass. It was wonderful.
It's an amazing skill. You see more and more of it, especially from the younger players. They believe that they have the skills and the talent to do it. And Conor Oliver wasn't missing from there, I can tell you. He was that dive was pretty brave, actually, because he was going in, but he knew he could see that line.
If you're a club player at home and you're maybe nearing the end of your career, I wouldn't recommend trying that, because I think you could dislocate your shoulder trying to flip the ball out the back door like that. That's my guess. I know I would. I also wouldn't make the break to be anywhere near to make the pass, so there is that point. Here goes Jack Carty. He kicked one of these earlier. Supporters behind the post will tell me if they got this one. The flags are up. It's all good. 14-0 to Connacht. I don't think it's a game where they're 14 points the better side, William. But I think they're worth their lead in terms of they're definitely slightly the better side.
They are slightly. Their handling isn't perfect, but it's better than Sale's. And I think Sale will be a little bit frustrated just with some of the small errors they've made. But it's better to make a small error in this game than in a Premiership game in a couple of weeks' time. You need to to get out of it. But they're still a dangerous side. And as you say, with other changes coming, you don't know where you'll be after maybe 60 minutes. Again, Ford, that's a good, solid kick. That
He
was
doesn't look happy with it, though. Oh, when you can see where their touch has ended up.
Yeah. But I thought that went a bit further. But I'm only about, I don't know, 80 metres away. So, I mean, but touch is right. Sorry, assistant referees look closer than me. And, yeah.
Sale need to score before half time. They want to be competitive in this game. They want to have a chance of winning it. They need a line out to work. It hasn't. Connacht now have made a mess of it. So that's a Connacht knock on. So Connacht are trying to make the case maybe for the line out being crooked. But accept the decision anyways is the wisest action in that situation. Sale have another platform. I mean, they have had 1, 2, three maybe lineouts inside the 22 and a scrum, and then a couple of situations like this outside the 22. Maybe the guts of 5 really solid attacking platforms in this game so far, and they are without a score.
They haven't linked well from the forwards to the backs a couple of times, where the communication hasn't been good, and I'd expect that's something they'll talk about at half time. I'm sure.
Calavu lining up inside centre for this move, and Rob Dupree's can play out half as well on the outside centre. This is all reliant on the fact that the scrum works out, so we'll get a reset. McIntyre got up at the cut of a frustrated man. He's in a battle.
Well, look, props want to establish dominance. That's their first mindset, and
hard to do that against Jack Ainger, though.
It's very hard to do it against Jack Ainger. Sam Elo's had his run. Dennis Buckley's on now. He's, it's they treat this very seriously. This to them is just a game. It's not a warm-up game. It's getting I think
penalty to Connacht, binding issue on.
Penalty to Sale.
I'd imagine on the Buckley side, because the referee wasn't using his touch judge there for that, and Ford's going to kick this into corner. And now Sale need to score here.
I think he does have to speed those up.
Yeah,
make a decision, blow your whistle, and say, right, I think this, because otherwise we'd be here all day.
Well, there was a lot of movement in that scrum before it took off. On the stadium clock, we are at 39:55, folks, so 5 seconds left before we're into last play territory. So we can call this that, barring penalties, of course. Sale want to execute a good line out. Well, a good start is to throw to the front of Roots, but maybe they've allowed themselves to be pushed into touch. The ball was dropped anyways. And I think as they make the long walk to the dressing rooms here at the under construction Dexcom Stadium, they're going to have a lot to chat about. Connacht lead 14-0 at half time. Williams sum up that first half with tries there from Dylan Tierney-Martin and at the top end of the half, and Conor Oliver right at the end of that.
Right at the end, 18 and 36 minutes, both converted. A bit messy, a bit scrappy. The best attacking play has come from Connacht, I think. A lot of handling errors by both sides. Connacht just look a little bit more switched on, and I think that's why they have the lead. Sale are actually maybe staying out on the pitch.
It's a team huddle. It's a real captain situation there. It's like before we get in there.
Well, he basically he had a chat with them before. The coaches get to have a chat with them. I think Connacht will be very happy with bits of that. Sale less so, but these games can become, in the second half, can change completely.
Oh, yes. So if you are tuned in from across the water in Sale, and I would say wait for a second half, because there's a lot of players to come into this game who are going to take their opportunity. I think this could really open up its perfect conditions. But so far, most of the big moments have come from Connacht, and they're well worth their lead. We'll take a little breath here. We'll be back with you for second half coverage of the pre-season action here from Dexcom Stadium on Connacht Rugby Stream. It is Connacht leading, Connacht 14, the Sale Sharks 0. Welcome back, folks. Connacht are onto the field, and the Connacht replacements are being announced. But Connacht's second half team is going to be Dennis Buckley, Adam McBurney, and Jack Ainger in the front row. Niall Murray and Oisin Dowling in the second row, wearing 19 and 20. David O'Connor, he has no number on his back. Same for Oisin McCormick. Paul Boyle is at 7. And we got Ben Murphy staying on as scrum half as he came on during the first half. Jack Cardy's there. Byron Ralston wearing 13, but he'll be on the wing. John Devine, David Hawkshaw, Shane Bolton still on, and Pierce O'Connor, who was one of the standout Connacht performances in the first half. He is also still on.
And David Hawkshaw is the captain in this second half. This is the second half team. I'll bet you there's a bit of competition. The first half team won their game 14-0. That's what they're going to say. So, bit of pressure for just to get it right. Some of the Sale subs are actually coming down on the outside. Oh, they have to come down on the outside, so the referee's happy to get the game underway.
The clock has started. And Sale have the ball.
Nearly knocked it on, but
now
they got away with it.
That's helped us get Connacht sorted out, but the fun we're going to have now is trying to work out what's happening with Sale, because we're not getting a whole lot of information from Sale, which is the joys of it. Anyways, we'll just do our best. Lots of changes. Kick downfield. Let's I reckon Gus War. Come on, at half back. Connacht just doing their best there to make the changes. Out it comes from Murphy. Nice opportunity for Connacht to get going with John Devine. First good carry from him. His brother of Matt Devine. A lot of excitement about him too from his Irish under-20s days. Dancing feet. Connacht lead 14-0. Total control of this game at the moment. It can all change in a day like this. Hawkshaw. Huge for these players. He's spent so long. Got to 2 months doing pre-season. Now you're on the pitch playing rugby. You want to make everything count.
Yeah, you'll always find some players really enjoy training and doing stuff, and then others don't. They just want to play rugby. So
it's a bit of a mess there from Haddison. So he's blocked off and maybe a tackle there as well.
Well done, Murphy, to get up there. The scrum half nails him.
It might be Reid there for Sale. Connacht have really pinned them back. Good reception from the supporters here as well. They're impressed with the efforts of their teammates. Sale are just trying to rescue a tricky situation here. And they've kicked it downfield but kept it in play. Carty, Pierce O'Connor. He's doing the simple things well so far. Presents the ball.
Kind of just want to get a bit more speed into this because they've been caught on the second pass. It caught again. Jack Carty looks for the big looper.
Scooping pass all the way out to the wing. Hawkshaw with the little kick and chase. That's going to go dead in goal. Sale will hope, and it does. So we'll go back to where he kicked it.
Clever idea, but just overcooked it. Jack Carty quick to see that they were being closed down in midfield and just got the scoop or the lob pass out. He's brilliant at it, and the wingers are always in the game then if you can get that away. Incredibly still day here. It's so unusual to be here without some sort of a breeze, but there is, well, the flags are actually moving. Maybe it's just because we're in this particular commentary box, but it just feels like a very calm afternoon. It's a good afternoon for playing rugby. Let's hope the accuracy just lifts a bit for both sides. It was a little bit in the first half. You could tell they were just back to doing what they do.
All right.
Scrums have taken too long right through the game, really. That's taken that took about 90 seconds from the time the ball went dead.
Moore feeds in. Ford is still on here at scrum, out half for Sale. Here he is on the ball. Now Calavu is a decoy.
Ooh.
Ralston pushed up, lined it up, and Addison was fine. Understandably, when to stop the play. Just, it's almost like he wasn't. Well, it definitely is like he wasn't in the right body position. But the contact came earlier than his
Yeah,
than he
there's
wanted.
nothing wrong with that at all. That was just
It was low, but it's just,
just the tackle position, and I'm fairly certain they'll substitute him. He looks a little bit banged. That's a tricky one.
Isn't
There
it?
was nothing wrong with it, but it was you could hear the hit from here, and they'll take their time. So both sides having a drink of water. That's another. Yeah, and he's on his feet, so that's good. But they'll definitely take him off, and I don't think we'll see him again. He's shocked.
Off goes Byron Ralston. I think I might have seen Maddie Devine coming on. Oh no. I'm expecting him on some point, but no, it's Daniel Hawkstraw who's coming on.
So we've now got our third set of brothers. Murray's, Hawkshaws and Devines.
We have 2 sets of 23s as well. To make my job. That's the kind of stuff I worry about. No one else.
Oh,
does.
you're not interested in the.
I am.
But yeah,
Your
2
stash
sets
is-
of 23. Well, the trouble is, Rob, they don't have jerseys numbered anything
No.
beyond 23.
I'm gonna donate a fund to having jerseys go up the way for pre-season.
Up to
games.
30, yeah.
Just for the likes of me and you. Like the American football lads, they go all the way to 99.
Yeah.
Anyways, Daniel Hawkshaw. You don't need this, folks.
That's all.
We're going to bring you back to the real world. Hawkshaw's on the left wing.
That's all you need. 99-man rugby squads. That would be fun.
Sale to feed in. It's the time when Saracens were trying for that, but we won't go there. That's one for our Sale listeners there, just to get a little cheer outy. Very few cheers coming so far from that end. The men in orange are not really firing. It's like one big Irish flag out there if you put a referee in white. 45 minutes gone in the game. 5 into the second half. Connacht 14. Sale Sharks 0. Dylan Tierney-Martin off the back of a line out and drive in the 18th minute. And then Conor Oliver on 36 minutes after a brilliant offload from Connacht's winger on the day, Hugh Gavin, who has since left the field. All change for Connacht. Penalty to Sale at scrum time. Lots of pats on the head there for one of the replacements.
Just a quick update in the women's game. It's Ulster 7, Connacht 0. Connacht looked as being in for a try there a moment ago by Maeve Deely, but the ball was unfortunately dropped over the line. So Ulster leads 7-0, and there's about 28 minutes gone in Belfast in that third, fourth place playoff. No great urgency here. Everything's just going along pretty much as it did in the first half.
They'll have overthrown this one, all part of a plan. Bursting onto it was Dupree's. Now they're going to try and spin off and see can they move up for war. And this is the opportunity for Nayak Alavu to get his first line break of the game. Almost had the supporting play that he needed, but the ball went to ground and Connacht have scrambled, as they did a few times in the first half. It was less scrambly in the first half, more just solid defending, but on that one the line was broken for possibly the first time in this game from Sale. Connacht though have managed to sort themselves out and get the clearance.
Yeah, just a little inside offload didn't work from there. Good tackle though. That's a much better kick from Cathal Ford. He was well back. He's got it up to the 22 metre. That's obviously something they're going to try to work on. I mean, he has a big left boot. He hasn't really connected yet. But it's an important option to have 2 kickers. Times last season it got very tight with just 1.
Or in the middle of the pitch here. Please, Calavu out again. Ford, Addison. This could be it for Sale if they can get the runners onto it, but Connacht get themselves back into position. And again, the Connacht defence is tested. And as the answer is Hawkshaw saves the day, but they do need to start to tune into the fact that there's something different about Sale right here. Very different, in fact. That was 2 promising attacks.
Well, they just cranked up the pace a bit and the accuracy, got their passes away. That's a good kick.
Ford read that well. Just was backing up his man then. Put the stop on it.
It's good to get 50 metres from the goal line though.
Yeah, it does stop that momentum to say I want to build off it. There's a beautiful left to right pass all the way out to the wing. And get things going. Taking a stab here, but I think that might be the ringer might be Roebuck, if I'm recognising him right. He's wearing 14. But it's O'Flaherty has gone off for certain, and I think Reid has as well. So We are getting no information, so we're just doing our best here for you folks. Ben Bamber, good carry for him. It's knocked on from there, Calavu. In American football, that would have been a 2-metre completed pass. In rugby, it is a scrum to Connacht, and a change for Sale as well.
Sale definitely look a little bit more switched on in this half, but the accuracy hasn't really gone up for them. Connacht have had to work pretty hard, but they've got through this first 8 minutes reasonably comfortably. I'm slightly concerned with Ralston going off for that head bang, but the players that have all come on have all kind of fitted in fairly well for them. It's an unusual sort of situation that players can just come and go, or there are going to be a lot of changes. By the end of the game, Connacht might have gone through as many as 30 players, but that's all to the good.
Ona Sanya is on, and Opoku Forjour as well for Sale under control. We expected changes and they've come. Paul Boyle, the number 8 position for Connacht. A crossfield kick from Cardy, and he's overcooked that. Bolton couldn't do anything with it, and by word, if he had just had a chance to get going there, he would have been a hard stop. I see Luke Cohen-Dickey is on as well. He's about to throw into this line out for Sale, who are very much on the front foot.
It was interesting. I think he threw into the first line to that overthrow.
Oh, yes.
It was almost like
all part of a plan, wasn't it?
It was almost like he called that. We're going to go long here. Connacht need to be aware of that. The centres need to be switched on. Unlikely to go twice again, but you never know.
Oh, Connacht with Niall Murray, the world's best line-out stealer. I've just put a bit of hyperbole on that, but he's definitely the URC's best line-out stealer. He might be far off.
He's URC's easily their best line-out stealer.
That was very good, as always. And now Connacht get the penalty in. The Roscommon man we were just talking about deserves all the credit. Ooh, a little bit of pushing.
Yeah, a little.
Adam McBurney. Cohen-Dickey.
Well, maybe they've met before.
I feel like they might have. There's something going on there.
Yeah, that's the second time they've sort of got in the same vicinity, but nothing to it.
It's a good kick from Carty.
Yeah, he's got it down to the half.
Connacht are going to get a good test in the second half. I think Sale I would be stunned if Sale don't get a couple of scores, so Connacht will have to work for it.
I suspect the hairdryer or whatever you want to call it might have been out at half time. It's a pre-season game.
There'll be context. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose their mind at how poor they were, but they'll be asking for more.
But they won't like it.
No.
Slow in midfield again by Connacht, and they're just hit.
I mean, it was a series of missed time passes that led to John Devine having to try and rescue the situation. Sale are just trying to do that legally and cleanly because they were dominating it, and somehow Connacht have survived. I think Sale are very unfortunate not to get a turnover there. It's a good kick from Cardy. Connacht's line defence in terms of it met up quickly and made the tackles. Dowling.
That's better because the last time was a bit slow, but they have got themselves moving again.
Jack Ainger makes the tackle.
It's probably going to be potential for box kick here. So
yeah, a couple of chasers ready to go. Or launches this. It's Murphy back there, I think it is. Here's Piers O'Connor. Been in a good 50 minutes so far in his first outing in the green of Connacht. And Connacht fans will be excited about what he's going to bring. John Devine, this up-and-coming star through the academy ranks, getting his chance. Bolton off the left wing there, or right wing, sorry, on the left-hand side. Dowling has thrown that out the back door to no one in particular, and he's caused quite consternation with that pass, I have to say.
That's poor pass.
Hawkshaw has rescued a few situations so
he
far.
Has, yeah.
It's long.
Very, very sharp. It's just
last year through injury, so another player that will feel like a new addition. Connacht have got a get out of jail penalty.
Penalty coming, a sloppy one coming in from the side, I think.
Sale have let them off the hook there. A little bit of a chat for Jenkins to have with Ford. 12 minutes into the second half, and we're still involved, watching a scrappy contest. But I know all of you tuned in, not expecting anything in particular, just wanting to take a look and see how things are shaping up for your side, be it from some of the people who've tuned in from Sale or from the big numbers tuning in for Connacht. And
yeah, and get a look at the ground if you're from Connacht and see what's developing. And You could be anywhere in the world. We don't know where you're tuned in. So welcome to Sale viewers and Connacht viewers and viewers potentially anywhere. I'm sure there's somebody in some very obscure places, probably a Connacht fan, tuned in somewhere.
There was a good catch in the crowd there, which had the biggest cheer since
of the second half.
Conor Oliver scored. Yeah, quite catch it myself, but hey, literally or visually.
Well taken. That was high. That wasn't the receiver, I don't think.
It was O'Connor that was lifted up there, David O'Connor. Brother Alan involved in the Ulster set up. Big boot downfield from Carty. But in position, Sale will come back with Addison. Launches it into the sky and it's just sat up there. And there's no wind, so he's just misjudged that. Roebuck has solved all that though by just taking it out of the sky, and then Connacht are caught out in the wrong side.
Yeah, they tackled them from the wrong side. That's sloppy.
Both sides kind of at times just their own worst enemy. Forward kicks into the side of ground where the huge construction for the new stand is well and truly underway.
There's nobody going to return that. That's gone into the middle of the construction site, so I think they'll need a new ball. Yeah. Oh, yeah, ball boy has it. Going to be a lot of balls going in there this season.
You can see a couple of ball boys looking over the fence there, but I think that's the exclusion zone. There is a man in the yellow jacket and a hard hat over there, so I think that might be his role today. Connacht try and reach up, but didn't look straight from a Sale point of view, because Connacht were timing their lift perfectly, so it's good refereeing.
That's sloppy. That's they won't be happy with that.
I'm going to ban you from using the word sloppy for the rest of the game. See, can you continue co-commentating? Because there's been a lot of it, William.
Right, I'm not going to say sloppy again. Poor.
Me and you will have to play a little crossword game of adjectives. We have had 2 good tries, though.
Yeah, there's been some decent
and little moments. I just felt Sale were really stepping it up. The break from Naikalavu, the little kick through from Addison, and there was something, as you said, they introduced pace, and then
they switched.
It's just gone again.
It's gone again. But they were probably expecting that line out to be an attack in ploy, but it was very well crooked, very far crooked.
It definitely feels like Connacht came here today ready for the mistakes and ready to just get over them and move on to the next phase, whereas Sale were expecting a bit more of themselves. So I think that's possibly the factor, really, because they're just letting the errors just kind of compound their play. There's a clearance kick from Carty, which is getting around the applause up towards the 10-metre line. Nothing really from an attacking point of view for Connacht so far. They haven't had a single platform in the first 15 or so minutes of the second half. Sale have had most of the territorial dominance. They're going for a full line out, and they're anxious to get this ticking over and going. The backs are all in close. There's a huge throw over the top. That's why. Another Dupuis has the target moment. Naikalavu presents good ball there forward. There isn't much outside Addison on Roebuck, who's a finisher, let me tell you. Connacht are driven off that ball, though.
He is going to be a dangerous player when he gets fully up to speed, Calavu.
Yeah, definitely.
You can see him causing mayhem.
How did Niall Murray get away with it? I think he's okay, because I think the scrum have had hands on ball, so he could be tackled. But if that happened over in Sale, there would be a lot of people shouting at the referee, wondering why he didn't give away a penalty. Where if he did time it well, fair play to him. 10-metre line. What are they going to do from here? Just launch a kick. Interesting. They're probably running out of ideas. Pierce O'Connor has all day to take this. When you're 14-0 up, you absolutely take the mark, and when you see a gap down the field, you absolutely kick it. That's going to burst off the surface, though, and he's put too much on that. Is it going to sit in the in-goal area? Yes. He's a little bit fortunate there.
Yeah. On a wet night, that would have skidded along and been behind the dead ball, but it was a clever thing to do, because he saw Sale kind of ran out of ideas there.
We're hoping for a 22, but that was a few years ago. There's a goal line dropout now.
And didn't get... there'd no chase line at all, because it was too far ahead. Now, Connacht got 50 metres on their last goal line dropout, which is the sort of distance you really, that gives you an opportunity. I wonder, will this go as far? No, it won't. It's much higher, actually. Connacht kept it low.
But that's a great chance for Connacht to make something of it, because they're right on the 22 now. Boyle takes it off Hawkshaw. A lot of disruption at the breakdown from Murphy, and he's dealing with it well, in fairness to him. Cardi, Ainger out the back door. It's a mess. And it's even more messy from Sale when they had a great chance. I'm not sure the referee needs to blow that whistle. He's about to blow, but what's he blowing for? Knock on against Connacht?
Connacht knocked it
on.
on.
There was. Maybe there was.
There was, yeah. And then Sale knocked it on, so Connacht didn't turn that into anything.
Small bit sloppy, wasn't it, really?
Disappointing for them, I think would be the word I'll now use.
Not saying you were overusing the word, but I feel like it's the only word to describe this so far, in fairness to us.
It's... it needs an injection, this game. We're 20 minutes into the second half. I'll whisper it and say it maybe needs a Sale score. That might... it's like one of those soccer games that's 2-0 and you need somebody to... the opposition to get a goal.
I'm just having fun with just my binoculars and the Sale profile pics on their website, so I can go, yeah, I think that is who it could be. So it is definitely Roebuck in the wing. I'll stand by that one.
That's forward. You got away with it.
I just get the game moving. I'm okay with that, actually. Addison with the carry. Now they can get Roebuck going. Watch him go if he does get away. Watch Daniel Hawkshaw make an important tackle on him, though. Forward. Oh, that's good timeline. That's brilliant from Sale. Now they're motoring with a huge carry up the middle there from... it could have been McIntyre wearing one there.
There's a lovely hands by George Ford that just
Addison
set that free.
times it well, Nia Calafu, and just like that, Sale actually have their first try. Super stuff. Well. Quite the change of pace, quite the change of momentum from Sale. Big shout out in the midst of all that to Ben Bamber, who had a really good carry for the big second row, wearing 19. According to our team sheet, really good work from him.
Well, that was the best bit of play that Sale have had in the whole game, and they needed that.
They sure did.
But they took it well.
14 points to 5 with a conversion to come.
Absolutely, but Isa Nyakalvu is going to be a major presence in the Premiership next season. The forthcoming season hasn't started yet. If you get him into space, he's going to cause a lot of problems.
Una Sanya was the man wearing one there who made that brilliant additional help. Lou said prop, showing real modern day dynamism from that position and how useful that will be. Also really like Addison's spin and pass. The timing of his release of that was excellent.
Well, was that George Ford missed that? I think
it
was. Wow.
And he just didn't even look at where it went. He just stayed looking at the ground because something put him off as he struck it. So
and that's his and now he's off. I'm sure that's got nothing to do with the fact that he just missed that conversion, but
it's Tom Curtis coming on.
That might stick in his mind a little bit. He would have expected it. 14-5, so
Carty is off for Connacht as well, FYI.
Okay, so who's gone in?
Could well be called forward into out half position. Left foot launches to kick off anyway, so I'm gonna take a stab that it is him.
It is. Just got it. Just
Colin Ford, Conor O'Reilly, Fiona Barrett, Matty Devine, replacing Jack Carty, Piers O'Connor, Jack Ainger, Shane Bolton.
Fiona Barrett, Colin Riley, Colin Ford, and Matty Devine are on the pitch now. Bolton's gone, Connor's gone, Carty's gone. I think I missed one there.
Ainger, I think, maybe gone, and Fiona Barrett's come on for him.
Barrett's on for him, yes. Ainger came on earlier, maybe than they expected in the first half. He's done well. Oh no, he was on time. See, they're off their feet there, so Connacht have a penalty. They also have that 2-score advantage thanks to Carty's good goal kicking in the first half. He's put in a good 60-minute shift. We're going into that final quarter now. The only player that I think we might still have to see is Timi Assisi. And he would be coming on maybe for Buckley, who was on a little bit earlier than expected because Peter Dooley had a small knock. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure we could see other players coming back in as well for different changes.
Call for decent enough kicks, got it into the 22. Connacht want to come away with something here.
Ben Murphy's on the left wing here.
Yeah, I wonder has he ever played on the left wing before.
I think Daniel Hawkshaw's gone to fullback, just judging by the way he's lining into this.
And Colin Riley's gone to scrum, has he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, short line out to the front, knocked on. Not sure about that call, but they tried something.
Colin Riley just directing Maddie Devine backs. Maddie Devine's the right winger. All right, we've done well from a Connacht perspective. As I said, we're not getting much information from Sale, so we've just done our best. Forgive us, folks, if you're from that part of the world, and we've made a couple of player ID wrongs in the second half, but the numbers have been far from what was suggested. I'd say Alex Willis is on at this stage as well. As I said, Curtis too.
I called that wrong. It was a free kick for not going 5 metres, I think.
Okay.
And that's why they got the kick. But Connacht win the line out, so they're back in business.
Riley, good pass in midfield, and then a lovely little kick out from forward, but the chase is the important part of that, and it's good. So Sale will have to be good to get through this gap, and if they are, fair play to them. Good tackles from Connacht all around there. Really, really simple play to gain more territory when you lead by 2 scores, because there are lots of changes. A very young Connacht side out here. Niall Murray has been penalised for coming in from the side, so this is going to really test them. Can they hold on these closing stages against a very strong looking Sale? 15 on the pitch now since they made the changes. I think their out half for the closing stages will be Rob Dupree's.
Well, he's certainly given that a clout downfield. They're up to the 22. They're kicking into a little bit of a breeze which has come up. Yeah, it's a good challenge for Connacht this now. They've got some senior players on there, but there's a lot of youngsters as well.
Especially in the back line, and you have 3 scrum halves out there. I'm a big fan of the scrum halves, but there's only so many of them you can take on the pitch.
Especially if they're chatty scrum halves, because your eardrums could be burst with 3 of them.
Be tricky, I will say that much.
Ooh.
That's a real left to right whip pass from Hawkshaw. And do you know what? There's a huge skill in that. It was really good. Kick downfield from Maddie Devine. Connacht are claiming that he's put a foot in touch. I don't think you're going to get that decision over there on that side. Kick back at Connacht, but that's put them in a good position. Can they make a count now? Another nice dink downfield. Just love watching Colin Ford kick that ball. He's a lovely left boot on him. Put pressure on Connacht here now to tidy this up. Nope, here's O'Connor, who's been so steady back there. Is it Daniel Hawkshaw coming in? I think it is. He's done very well. Out it comes. Connacht on the front foot. Still inside their own half though. Oh, there's a tackle that just doesn't reach its target, if you like, from Colin Dickey. I didn't see him do that midway through the season, I can tell you.
No, well, of course
Rustiness.
he's probably he would have had a break after England's summer tour, so he's probably just back to training.
Riley just launches that and then says, let's see, get the chase right. What is it like? It's not bad. McBurney with a good tackle in the centre there. Connacht just pinning Sale back. You need 2 scores to rescue a win out of this. There'll be some rescue because they haven't been brilliant, but the game is still finally in the balance as it goes from right to left all the way out to the wing.
Might break up a little bit now. Both sides there trying to keep it moving, so we might see a little bit more in this final 15 minutes.
Really impressed with the impact this man has made in the second half. That ball's dropped. He's unlucky. That's the first thing that hasn't gone right for Bamber, but yeah, he's been good. But Sale have had yet another knock on, and I think that has been the story of their game so far.
Sam Elo's come back on. Dennis Buckley's gone off. I think that's Sam. No, it's not. That's Lassisi.
It'll be Lassisi coming on
with
the last change.
Without a number.
The man on the left wing on that last attack. And now, is he back in the centre? He is. It is Rakiti Massey White.
Well, that's his
big
debut.
signing list. They were really happy with him at under 20 level nationally. So another one that Leinster would have loved to held on to, but Connacht have made a case for him to get a bit of first team rugby.
Well, we'll see how he goes. It's interesting, he's replacing a 200 cap man, and this is his first Connacht cap, so that's the difference.
Big opportunities for these people. You know, we sit here and we kind of watch it and maybe muse at the early season rustiness, and we talk about what's going ahead. But these lads are putting in a huge amount of time, years in upon years of academies, underage, to put on a senior shirt against some England internationals, the top professional sides. It's massive moments for these young men.
It's huge for them. And again, what'll be in his mind is whatever I do, get it right. So that for these last 15 minutes.
It's like me and you in the commentary.
That's it. We're still doing our warm-ups for the season.
Bit of work to do here. Penalty to Sale at scrum time. They've had a couple. I think they've come out on top of the penalties at scrum time. 13 minutes of rugby and they need 2 scores. More than within their capabilities now that they have a bit of a platform. And as we said, there's much change. Connacht side, a bit of work to do here at Dexcom Stadium.
Yeah, if you look at the...
Oh, Dupree's has put too much on that. Oh, beautiful work out there. Connacht have rescued that and they've got the clearance kick. Dupree's went for too much. Maddie Devine said, I can save this situation, because I think it was just going to get inside the corner there. Brilliant from Maddie Devine.
Brilliant decision. One of those decisions that if it goes right, it's good. If it doesn't, but he got it right.
Absolutely. Now Sailor forcing passes here. It is a bit more broken though. Good for the game. Good for the neutrals. Nice work there from out in the wing from Ben Murphy.
Ben Murphy with a rip.
Left winger today, since showing well at scrum half, and he came on for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes in that position. The Connacht have just done their job well.
That's 2 really good things though. Keep that over kick, and then simple thing to do, just get a rip in. The ball wasn't being carried correctly, and it does of course mean another scrum where Sale have just got a bit of dominance now. Connacht want to get this in nice and quick.
Sale look maybe to have that bit more experience and quality on the pitch, and I'm sure if we measured it up in terms of games played we'd be right. 12 minutes to go though, but Connacht seem to be more tuned into the game itself and what's needed to win it, and that's probably why they're ahead.
Yeah, I think so. They have looked a little bit more cohesive. Sale are getting ready. Their season will be starting the day after Connacht, so this is what these games are about, but they're taken very seriously.
Oh, 100%, because it's a huge opportunity. There aren't
well
too many
done.
of them. Here goes Paul Boyle.
Well
he wants a
done.
big year this year, and he had moments impacting games at the end of last season where you're like, this could be a huge year for Boyle. This one.
Couple of nasty injuries last
What's happening here at this breakdown? The referees just haven't given a lot of leeway, a lot of pressure on Colin Riley, and I think in conjunction with a couple of his teammates, they did very well there, Connacht.
Well done, Lasisi, to come in though and pick it up, because he was quick to realise Connacht weren't.
Carry from Niall Murray, and it leads to a penalty for a slow roll away. Brilliant from Connacht. Frustration.
Fans are tuned in down below, aren't they? They're clapping, they're applauding. They just like, you get the feeling they'd love something to happen.
A lot of first name shouts as well. So I'd say, for some of the players that we're talking about, what a big moment it is. Their friends and family are here too to cheer them on, and then people who are club mates and teammates and the clubs from around Connacht as well, getting through their pre-season. CC is in charge of delivering the line-out call to Adam McBurney. Another key addition, McBurney. A lot of experience for him, and Connacht would really want him to be backing up and pushing hard for a starting slot this season with him in the URC.
Absolutely, that's what you want, the more players fighting for places.
Caused us a few bothers with Ulster in his day with them, so...
It certainly did.
Good carries from Connacht. They're in the 22. This is their first platform, I reckon, with him in the second half. Ball's dropped, though, so... Hold that note as Sale get a turnover and an advantage, and they're going to play through the advantage, and they're going to burst up the field a bit with Massey White, and they're up to the 10-metre line. Connacht have that 2-score lead. They're definitely pushing the offside line there. Tackles are just about effective. Connacht now off their feet over the top of the ball. I say they're going to get a penalty that they really want, just ease the pressure. Or probably would be frustrated at. I think he was due a penalty. Crossfield kick. Connacht want to get underneath this, and John Devine has done well. He's come down with the ball. Sale are on it, but there's a Sale player in the way, so he has to give Connacht the scrum. That's really good refereeing there, because obviously Sale had done the jackal and were clean over the ball, but when the player hadn't rolled away, there was no clean ball out. And what referees usually do when there's a kick involved with him is they'll give scrum to the catcher. Yep,
and he did well there. Half time, it's Ulster 7, Connacht 14. Tries by Adele McMahon, and she's now scored in every single game that she's played. Faith Oviawe, and she's into the Ireland.
I'm delighted to hear that. She's some player.
She is some player. She's playing second row today. She's into the Ireland training squad for the WXV and the game against Australia. Watch that young woman go and listen out for the name. But Connacht both converted by Nicole Fowley, so from 7-0 to 14-7 at half time.
It's been a roller coaster season for them, hasn't it? Like that finish against Munster will have given them a lot of confidence. This game's really important to them. It might just seem to some people, all right, you're not in the final.
No,
to this group, they want this third
huge.
place.
They want to win. They should have beaten Ulster, and they were very upset with themselves for losing a 14-point lead in 8 minutes. they had Munster on the rack here last week because Munster maybe don't seem to have the depth you would expect off the bench. Leinster were too good for them, but today is important. Finish on a win, and as I say, Faith Oviawe to me has been the standout player. Been a lot of good players for them, but again, that's her 5th try now in 4 games.
Follow Connacht Rugby on X for the latest scores on that. Follow Galway Bay FM for updates on it as well. If you want to stay in touch with how the Connacht Women's Interprovincial team finish off their campaign with the World XV tournament, as William was talking about, and the Irish squad being selected, there's going to be 1 or 2 involvements there as well. Important scrum for Connacht. They want to just try and retain possession for all, because they have defended well in the second half and not really attacked with too much consistency, if I can say that. John Devine now with the carry. Oh, that ball's loose. Referee's a lot of leeway in that situation. That is dangerous, and it's knocked on. I don't think that pass was on.
No, that wasn't on.
Down on that situation.
They got right on top of each other, Connacht. There was no width at all, and I'm not sure that was that Luke Cohen-Dickey. I think it might have been. Yeah, he might have been gone, but he didn't quite get the opportunity to get it done. I'm
going to paraphrase what he said there, and I'm going to say he said "sugar" really loudly.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Golly gosh, sugar.
Golly gosh and damn. No, he's not happy because I think
the
view of the open territory that was in front of him there, like if it's 80 metres, I think he could have eased up.
Yeah, I think he was I think he was gone, but he probably was hoping to be somebody on his shoulder. Connacht just forced that.
Certain try is what he'll be telling people in the dressing room when he held it. Anyways, 7 minutes to go. Sale need 2 tries, and they're not really showing, but anything can happen in a rugby game, as you well know. Connacht have possession here. Goes John Devine now. I think he did the right thing to take it into contact there. And a high tackle is drawn, which is an example of why, as the season goes on, take the ball into contact when there isn't a clear pass on, and you can sometimes draw a penalty, but you can also get a platform. Really good, simple work from Connacht's number 12 in the second half, I should say, John Devine. He wants Sale to have a word. Oh, have I got mixed up here? Is that forward coming in? I beg your pardon. 2 12s. Thanks for that, William.
Because I thought for a second he's going to have a shot at goal, and I think he is going to have. No, he's not, or is he? He had a chat with the captain, David Hawkshaw.
We have 2 12s on the pitch.
We have 2 12s.
Like all the sets of brothers. I think it was Devine on that occasion.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
If you're right, I do apologise.
Yeah, because he picked the ball up, and I think he was interested in a kick at goal, but the captain has told him,
A1.
Down the wing, young man.
It's all left foot with Ford, but it's all good because he can, even on an angle like that, he can provide a platform. This is a really strong finish for Connacht to this game. 14-5 up. As much as you can say it about a pre-season friendly, they were underdogs coming in, missing maybe 1 or 2 frontliners, and Sale coming with a strong side, but they played brilliantly in spells of a scrappy contest, and they've got a really good maul going. They've got a cry from the maul in the first half. It's McBurney at the back now, so it's all the changes to the pack, and they want to show what they can do. John Muldoon will be proud of the way they scored that first half try. It's on for them, but they want to take it out, and Colin Riley gets it out to Hawkshaw, and they're trying to get through the line. How has he got that far in that situation? Really good. Gives it another good platform. Paul Boyle goes for the line, reaches out, knocks it on. Referee blows his whistle.
I think he did knock it on.
Just don't know why he didn't let Sale play on there, but anyways, it'll be a scrum. Oh, he went for it.
He went for it.
It was Hawkshaw, wasn't it? Those dancing feet, really, really good.
Yeah, I think all the brothers are on, aren't they?
3 sets of brothers. We are confident to say that's the first time that's ever happened on a Connacht rugby pitch. We wonder if it might be the first time across the board in any interprovincial side. You might be right, yes. The Devines are both on anyways.
The Devines are both on, the Hawkshaws are both on, and I'm pretty sure
Niall is, but Dara isn't. Dara Murray, who started the first half.
So there you are, we got nearly 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
So a penalty to clear that. Connacht will be frustrated there because one pass out this side and they had a simple try.
A goal line dropout to clear that, it should be said. Because it was knocked on in the in-goal area. That's why the referee didn't allow play on. But I think Sale should have been allowed to play through the advantage. Another penalty. Are we going to get a yellow card late in the game?
No.
I think he has to referee it as you would any game. So
number 8 is on his way.
Not the number 8 who started.
No, I was going to say Jean-Luc Duprise, but it's another number 8. He's walking off very slowly. I think he knew what was coming.
Connacht go into the corner again. I'm looking at the clock. Coming up to 4.5 minutes left. Sale have to score twice. I think Connacht are heading towards an important, well, not important, that's the wrong word, but a satisfying opening day win. I'm reckoning, just judging by my Sale player profiles, that the man wearing 8 now is Ruben Birch, who's been sin binned. That's my final answer.
You don't want to do 50-50
No,
or
I'm
phone
going
a
for
friend?
it. Who needs help with team lists when I can just go to the player profiles? Little burst off the side there. Good carry from Connacht.
That's McBurney.
Really good from McBurney. And a second wave, and Connacht are now within millimetres of getting that third try and giving the crowd one big cheer before we're done in this game. They have the extra man as well to the bitter end here. That's short. You don't want to get held up over the line. Remember modern day rugby, you just make sure you got it or else you go out again. Sale are really disrupting. Connacht reorganise. Raise there. Oshie McCormick is battling away. So is O'Connor. Riley's the scrum half on the base. Let's see, kind of saying I could take this if you want. Now it's coming out. Little scoop pass all the way out to the wing. And Ben Murphy, and his first time wearing the green of Connacht. There's a lovely moment in the corner. Nothing like a scrum half to spot a scrum half out in the wing. Riley did that.
Yeah, they
sailed down the man.
Sailed down the man. So, as you say, sucked in, and look, like there was McBurney could have taken the pass. He was loitering, but
safest option was to just scoop it out.
Scoop it out.
Man, yeah, really good, really simple from Connacht, and just crowns a really satisfying open there. You're going to be chatting to Pete Wilkins for Galway Bay FM afterwards, and I'm sure he's going to be really happy with this starting point.
They'll be. Look, they'll go through the video. There'll be lots of things that they won't be happy about, but they weren't bullied around the field, which has been an issue against English teams in the past. And when they were under pressure, they generally made very good decisions. There wasn't people rushing up and doing things. They were tackling as a unit.
Real focus in the huddle too. I'm just looking at them there in the middle of the pitch having a chat. Dave Heffernan is on water carrying duty. Fair play to him today. He is out there just
call forward,
doing that. Call forward, left foot, left hand side of the pitch, not the easiest side. And Connacht are 21-5 up. Keep in mind Connacht without Caelan Blade today, Keane Prendergast and Dave Heffernan. Extra training needed.
Aki and Beelum, Mac Hansen.
Yeah, no Bundy Aki, no Beelum, who are just returning to training. Mac Hansen, you say, is ready to go from your reporting?
That's what we're hearing, but he just decided not to play him today. I mean, he hasn't played since New Year's Day, so he'll want to get on that field.
You mentioned already Santiago Cordero is playing for Argentina and starting on the wing tonight against Australia at 11 o'clock. TNT Sports have that one.
Yeah, well, he did play a bit of wing when he was in Bordeaux, but he's seen here as a fullback. That's another knock-on
for Sale. Sean Naughton and Max Flynn, Under-20 World Cup has changed their programme in terms of when they're going to be available, but they're exciting young stars coming up for Connacht who are just trying to finish this game with another flurry. And that is John Devine with the carry. Really good ball presentation as well.
JJ Hanrahan's rehab's going very well, he said during the week.
Brilliant.
He's talking about January maybe.
That'd be amazing because he had the worst possible injury, and it's just super to hear. Great to have Bolton back.
Josh Uone.
A little bit longer to wait for him.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be around very, very soon, but he's just been got up to match fitness.
In the out half.
And the out half role.
Yes.
Call Ford's done okay today here as an out half, but I don't think Connacht see him in that role.
No, it's the 12, second 5/8 Southern Hemisphere terminology, if you like. Connacht have won this game. It's just a matter of the final scoreline now. 30 seconds to go. And if Sale could just get a kick downfield and orchestrate a move that just finishes with a try, they'll get on that bus and get on the plane home in a much happier mood than they will be if this finishes out the way it is. No one is going to be over-analysing a pre-season friendly where you don't fire, but they said they were ratcheting up this week. They had a game last week, didn't they?
They played Caldy last week. I didn't actually see the final score. I think they're a local amateur team.
Yeah, so this was the next
step up, and they're going to...
Won't be happy.
The standards that these guys set for themselves they're almost impossible, and they're going to analyse this. I'll tell you, their cameras will be running and they'll be going, sorry lads that we weren't good enough today, we weren't accurate enough. And I suspect in their next warm-up game, and I'm not sure who that's against, they will be very much improved. Connacht in action next weekend against Glasgow. And then the following weekend, they're away to Bristol.
Away from home against Glasgow, should be said.
It should, yep. That Bristol, the Glasgow game is in Glasgow, and the Bristol game is behind closed doors. It's being played at the training centre because I think Ashton Gate is in use for football. They do share with, is it Bristol Rovers or Bristol City? It's one of the Bristol's teams they share with.
Fair enough. So don't be travelling to Bristol for that one. But you can travel to Glasgow. What day is the Glasgow game on? Just check that out.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that game is. That's just a normal access game.
It's been 4 months. I'm sure some of the diehards are itching for any sort of rugby, and a lot of them will be in Thomond Park on Saturday, the 21st of September, 5:30. United Rugby Championship, wherever you get your live coverage will be live, and of course, as always, Galway Bay FM, myself and William will be there at that one. Looking forward to that, William, even if it is going to be an awful tough start. Sale, can they finish well? Oh, they've lost control of that goal forward. The penalty to Connacht.
And in there was Connor,
right.
Is that
Brilliant.
Connor Oliver?
No, it wasn't. It was Paul Boyle in the end.
Oh, it's Paul Boyle.
And a tap and go from Matthew Devine,
Okay.
rather than kicking it out dead.
Yeah,
it's knocked on by Connacht now, so that will end the game. Like Matthew Devine's enthusiasm and endeavour, but I think he was well within his rights to call that.
Know, I'd suspect some of the forwards were going, really?
What are you doing?
What are you doing,
Paul
young
Boyle
man?
was there going, I've just solved the situation.
Yeah.
It is solved now. Connacht have won 21 points to 5, 3 tries. First half tries from Connacht coming in the end for, I have to catch up my notes here. Dylan Tierney-Martin off the back of a maul. Jack Carty converting. Conor Oliver, brilliant little move. Hugh Gavin getting a really good gold star for his assist work in that, or in the final pass coming from Jack Carty to Oliver. And then in the second half, Connacht wrapping things up with Ben Murphy and a lovely conversion from Connacht's Cathal Ford for a comfortable enough win. Nai Calavu announced his arrival at Sale with a try, but other than that, they were second fiddle.
Yeah, they were. We've had issues in the past against English teams who come here and bully us. I know it's a pre-season game. It's not going to be played at 100%. But Connacht were pretty good there. Defensive line worked well. And there was nobody going off on solo runs in defence. The defence was 2 people, 3 people making tackles, moving across. It looked better set. And they created a couple of nice opportunities. A lot of handling errors by both sides. You would expect that this early in the season. This is the time to do it. You don't want to be doing it in a championship game. The second try was a beautifully worked try for Carty. Some good handling in that by Connacht. Sorry, it wasn't by Carty. He converted. It was Conor Oliver got the try, who dived over to make sure of the try. But there was good work there. That was created by Hugh Gavin, who came in off the wing, left, right, sort of really good footwork, and from where you are, that's a good solid start. They'll want to build on it next week in Glasgow, then Bristol, and then, as you say, it starts Thomond Park. That's you get into a run of games. You got Munster away, you have a game here against the Sharks, then you got to go to the Scarlets, then you go to Ulster, and then Leinster come here. That's, and then the Dragons. So it's a tough start.
I'm just looking at to finish the players that came on. Like, I can't pick a single Connacht player that I couldn't pick a moment or two out that they didn't contribute to this game and add something to it, from the John Devines to the Daniel Hawkshaws, Ben Murphys, you got Fiacre Barrett, Oisin McCormick, all these players, Adam McBurney, and Pierce O'Connor on his debut is a standout, kind of separate to that because he's such a big signing and so much potential. He had a great performance at fullback. But back to the wider point I was making, which is everyone involved has just probably got something out of this today, so that's probably the most important thing more than the result.
Absolutely, that's what you're looking for. The coaches want to see players contributing. The players want to contribute, and they don't want to have, they don't want to be coming off thinking, well, I made 3 bad errors in that game. That's not a contribution, but they've all done well, and it's a foothold for the start of the season. These games are important. There's a lot of players to come back as well. We ran through them there. Your Finlay Beelams and your Bundyakis, they won't be ready immediately. Mac Hansen, I think he might have been an interesting handful today on a couple of occasions. Little bit of a worry about Jansen's injury. Looks like it may have damaged his shoulder. We hope not. We don't know. And a bad bang on the head for Byron Ralston. But that's rugby. It's a physical game. You never have every single person ready at any stage of the season. So roll on to Glasgow next week, and we'll see where we get to. But that's a solid performance in a game that markedly I thought there was Sailor a good side. You know, the fourth in the Premiership last year. Nearly got into the final. Probably should have done. Not let themselves down, but they just got eased out of it by Bath at the end. And I think Connacht will take more out of the game than they will. But you know, once they've done their review on Monday, it'll be back to getting ready for the next game.
21st of September, they open up their campaign in the URC, 5:30 in Thomond Park. And if you want to get your tickets for the first home game here at Dexcom Stadium, it will be 7:35 on the 28th of September. The Sharks from Durban in South Africa come to town, and Connacht, well, they're up and running. 2 big huddles on the pitch for a bit of a chat. Both teams will have plenty to look through. You can see the construction work that's underway here, and behind that huge those huge pillars for the new stand, you can see the high performance unit. It's exciting times to be involved in Connacht Rugby. They need all the backing they can get from their supporters during the transitional period here to make sure this ground stays loud and full of passion. So you can see they're putting all the hard work into pre-season. The early signs are good for Pete Wilkins. William's off to chat to him. You can hear on that on Galway Bay FM. But thank you so much for joining us on this Connacht Rugby stream. Thanks to Stream Sport. Thanks to John Murphy here beside us, who's helping us out in the camera spot. And thank you, William Davis.
Thanks,
Rob.
Rob.
For Connacht.
Absolutely. And yeah, lots of rugby to come, folks.
Roll it on. The season has started. Talk to you soon, folks. Target, the maul is set, almost lost his footing, but he got the ground. Connacht are trying to roll off the side with Dylan Tierney Martin at the back of this. This is momentum. Just needs to spin it off, perhaps. I say that like it's the easiest thing in the world, because Sale have dug in really deeply. Connacht do spin off, and they've got the try. Jack Carty eyes up the post. How loose it is. Murphy gets out for one. Sale wants to knock on. They're getting a Gavin. Oh, he's come outside, inside. That's really good. What an off though with the right, out of the right hand. Carty on the shoulder. One more pass. Oliver dives for the line. It's Jack Carty. He kicked one of these earlier. Supporters behind the post will tell me if you got this one. The flags are up. It's all good. 40. Brilliant from Sale. Now they're motoring with a huge carry up the middle there from could have been McIntyre wearing one there.
There's a lovely hands by George Ford.
Addison times it well. Niall Calavu, and just like that, Sale actually have their first. Connacht reorganise. Raised here. Oisin McCormick is battling away. So is O'Connor. Riley's the scrum half on the base. The CC's kind of saying, I could take this if you want. Now it's coming out. Little scoop pass all the way out to the wing. Out there just.
Oh, call forward.
Call forward, left foot, left hand side of the pitch. Not.